Yo.
What up? What up?
Welcome to the midnight hour. Let's go.
That's a fact. It is, dude. Look,
Let's fucking go.
It's literally midnight.
Let's go. God damn it, on a school night.
God damn it, we had to catch up, man. We had to catch up. There was a lot of
We
shit
sure
going
did,
on.
man. Yeah, for real, bro. We need. I think that means we need 2 pods a week now. We need to up our game, man. We need 2 pods a week.
Dude, I'm pretty sure we did like 2 already.
Oh, bro, we have 2 tonight, and if you let us go, we'll keep going till like 5 a.m.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Coming From Podcast, episode 163. Yes,
4. 164.
No, is it?
Yeah, man.
God damn it!
I checked it right before.
My eyes are bad. Yeah, you're right. 164.
164, man.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Episode 164 of the Carpet Flipping Podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit them with a drink of the day.
Listen, man, we got a simple yet delicious one this week, man. We got the Lightning McQueen with the McQueen and the Violet Fog gin. It's the first time having that fancy ass cap, fancy bottle. It looks like the Alexander McQueen thing, man, from the fashion house.
I don't know what that is. I have to look
it's
that
like
up.
it's a fashion brand, but like a high end fashion brand. It reminds me of their logo. But yeah, this is delicious, man. So shot of the McQueen and the Violet Fog gin. We did a half an ounce of simple syrup, half of lemon, in a rocks glass filled with ice. Top off with club soda. Garnish with some rosemary, and of course the rosemary, as always, brought to you by Garden de la Chane. So, which I was just telling you, I can't do rosemary from the store anymore because it just doesn't hit. And I don't know if it's because you always freshly cut this before you come.
Oh yeah, it is freshly cut.
Or what, but it just doesn't hit the same, bro. It doesn't slap the same, man, but it's good. Yeah, man, simple drink this week. It tastes amazing. We gave this a crack at one point in time without the simple syrup.
It doesn't work.
And it does not work. So do not do it without the simple syrup. It changes the entire drink. So don't forget the simple syrup. So half ounce of simple syrup, 2 ounces of the gin, half a lemon. Shake it up, top off with club soda, and then throw in the rosemary as the garnish, man. This thing is delicious, man. This is and it's refreshing, man. It goes down. I like this, man. It's gonna be on a rotation because it's so simple. You don't have to sit here and worry about
it
mixing
is
the
super
time,
simple. Matter of fact, as I was making it, as we made a couple, I was just like, oh man, this is you can batch it.
Yeah.
So this is a good one. People.
Yeah, build it in a shaker. I think I left that out for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So Sean was saying shake it. So build it in a shaker and then pour it into the rocks glass after. It's so good. So good. I love this, man.
All right, bro. Hit me with the carbon footprint. What we doing today?
Listen, the carbon footprint this week is going out to ungrateful ass. Actually, I don't even want to word it that way. It's just going out to women and men dating in the future. And for the next generation, our kids, bro, there's a viral list this week going out of the places that women say that are absolutely unacceptable to go on a first date.
So first date, okay.
First date. Okay. So first date, they're not saying date period. They're saying as a first date, these places are totally, and it's 28 places that are not acceptable. Yeah, bro.
That many?
28, bro.
Okay, so did they name like fast food restaurants in here?
Yes.
Okay.
But so I'm gonna go, bro. Number 1 on the list is the Cheesecake Factory. I'm gonna rattle these off real quick because there's so many of them. But so Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, Olive Garden, The Movies, Your House, any fast food chain. So they didn't even name it. They just said any fast food chain.
Makes sense.
Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobster, a buffet, IHOP, Denny's, the gym, church, Starbucks, coffee dates, ice cream dates, family functions, movie night. So movie night, and they literally put in parentheses, Netflix, Hulu, and etc. Somewhere that requires a long drive, bowling, nightclubs, hookah bar, a bar for just drinks, Waffle House, or any sports event. So they pretty much said,
fuck, man. Any place that guys like to go, we don't want to go.
Just nowhere. You can take these bitches to a botanical gardens and the beach.
Or a really high-end restaurant.
Or a really high-end. No, yeah. Listen, it's funny, man, because I talk a lot of shit. There's a lot of restaurants in here that I've definitely have said shouldn't be a date night thing, but.
Yeah, and I would think the same thing.
Yeah.
However,
Bro, there's so much nuance to this list because I go, okay, where do you live? Because, bro, I'm telling you right now, a bitch in Kansas will love some Cheesecake Factory. Like a chicken
like Iowa.
Iowa? Yeah, but somebody from New York is probably not going to be as keen on Cheesecake Factory, right? Like, I get it.
But for that, man, Cheesecake Factory is good. Like the food is good.
I think my beef with this whole thing is that I don't necessarily disagree with some of the restaurants. Like, I understand it, but I also think that this is so contingent on what you have to offer as well as a woman. And I also think there's stuff in here that I think I'd be fine with. Bro, a coffee bar, it doesn't have to be Starbucks or whatever, but I almost think that as someone respecting maybe someone else's time, saying, hey, let's go grab a cup of coffee together where there's no pressure. It's a quick, like 15-minute thing. Yeah. I don't sit through a whole dinner and then realize halfway through dinner, I hate you and maybe you hate me. And now we got to sit through this awkward dinner and then, whatever, pay for it and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, sitting over 15 minutes of coffee and then it going longer than that is probably one of the better ideas of the whole bunch. Now,
but is that a first date? Right?
No, maybe not.
It's a let's go grab a coffee.
Exactly.
Not I'm gonna.
But wouldn't that constitute a first date? Like if you met someone, I don't know, you work with them, or you just saw them and you just be like, hey, I'd love to go grab a cup of coffee with you, and then it's like a get to know you sort of like cup of coffee. That I guess that theoretically is a first quote unquote
theoretically,
date.
But I don't think that.
Now, if I'm going, hey, Tuesday at 8 a.m. I'm gonna scoop you up. Like I get that. Like I'm not doing that. But I understand if you want to put Chili's and shit on here. Like I get it. But I'm like, okay, so you can't do a cup of coffee. I do agree with the like a nightclub or a bar, like it's weird to go on the first date. I agree with the movies. It's weird.
But you know what? Even the nightclub thing is like how old are you?
But right? I'm also allowed. You know what's weird about that? I'm allowed to meet you at the nightclub. Right. I just can't take you then. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so strange, bro. Like,
yeah, and then also, man, like as a first date, like I don't know, man. Like I want to know if you're worth the
Red Lobster?
No, not the Red Lobster, but like, are you worth like the high end
better
restaurant,
high end,
right?
Yeah,
like I kind of want to, as a first date, I kind of I'm interested, right? So clearly I'm asking you out because I'm interested, but I want to get to know you, and no, like I'm not taking you to some high end restaurant to get to know you because I don't know if you worth that.
That's how you could tell how much a guy likes you, though, too.
Yeah, but likes you. But
if I take you to Cheesecake Factory versus like a high end steakhouse or a high end seafood restaurant or whatever, like I may go, I'm really trying to impress you out the gate because I really like you.
Correct. However, it's like how well do you know this person, or because we're so visual, are we going, oh my God, you're so hot.
She's so hot. Which I mean, we're guys, we're stupid, so we're totally going by.
So it's hot. Like that, right? So it's so hot. I want to impress you with money.
Whatever the money. Yeah, right? and dude, listen, I'll be the first to tell you, like I'm old school in the sense of like I expect that if I invite you out, I'm gonna pay. I'm like, whatever. Yep. Like I know whatever people these days when they date, they're kind of like we split this or whatever. They go Dutch, whatever the thing is.
It's kind of weird.
But I'm very much like, no, I'm taking you out. I'm paying. I'm doing and so like I also know I gotta eat. So there's places on this list that I'm just not gonna pick because I don't want to eat there.
It. Yeah, right.
But also, I would pick like a nicer restaurant because maybe I want it quiet enough to where we could talk. Maybe I want it, or maybe you pick a fun place because I go, dude. By design, I can think of places where I go, okay, not the fanciest or whatever, but I want to see your reaction because I want to know you can humble yourself down and have a good time too. Like I think Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever's on this list. That's ratchet. I get it. But I also understand if you're someone who that's important to you, then and you want your partner, whether you're a man or a woman, if you're totally into sports or whatever, or just go, like I can understand why that's important to you to go like I need to bring somebody who can sort of match that. Otherwise, like we're gonna be bored.
Yeah, and I wouldn't bring a woman to a Buffalo Wild Wings. However, if you know each other at least a little bit, and she's like, oh my God, like on Saturday, the college football.
I love this team.
Right.
I want to go watch the game together.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I'm looking at the list and I'm going, okay, there's so many scenarios where this changes depending on, like, how long you've known each other.
Who's the person?
How it came. Yeah, who's the person? Like, there's so much there. Like, I go, yo, you just meeting somebody off the street and you're like, hey, I want to go on a date. Okay. But also, again, I go back to, I should be allowed then to take you for a cup of coffee to go, do I want to waste my time taking you out on a real date?
Yep.
Which, by the way, that's respectful of your time as well. Because what if over the cup of coffee, you're like, I don't like him.
Right.
And I don't want to sit through a dinner with him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it just...
And, dude, you know, looks are deceiving or can be deceiving.
Yeah, dude.
You know, you see somebody who looks a certain way, and then you know they open their mouth, and this is from both sides, both guys and girls.
Absolutely, yeah.
They open their mouths, and then you're just like, oh no, like we don't click.
No, that or you're just on both sides. You're just nothing to talk about. Like, you're just airheads. Like, you're just like, oh, you literally are just looks, or you know, like whatever.
Right.
Yeah, man. The whole I feel bad. Like, our kids have got a date in this next generation of that's the expectation.
I'm fucking
bro.
dude. So I have teenage boys.
Yeah.
And listening to their stories from school and stuff like that, man. And I got one who is really sort of interested in kind of like the dating scene.
Okay.
And I have
how
one,
old?
16.
16. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
It makes sense, yeah. So I put myself in that situation, and I'm just like, yeah, like I was there too, right? But I have another one, you know, his twin, who is the exact opposite, and goes like, nah, like I've seen enough in relationships, you know, either both in the family and also relationships that my friends have, and I've seen them, you know, where like every other week, like their girl is mad at them. And he's going, this is stupid. Like, no, I don't want that.
It doesn't change, buddy. I hate to break it to you. You just get numb.
Dude, he told me a story. He told me a story recently, man, where he goes, there's this girl that's interested in me. But she won't tell me. But I know that she is. So she talks about this guy that she's interested in.
Okay.
And then she asks him advice on what she should do. So at one point, she's like, man, like I really like this dude, and I want to tell him, but I don't know how. What should I do? He goes, definitely don't tell him.
Meanwhile, she's talking about him.
Yep.
Definitely don't. He's setting himself up to stay in the friend zone forever, bro. Now, does he's like
good with
her?
that. No, he's good with that.
Okay, he's good with that.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't think he feels the same about you. Oh man. Oh my God.
No, he definitely has. Well, he has this sort of feeling about relationships in general.
Yeah.
And then he has like a certain type of girl that he likes, and it's very specific.
Yeah.
And this person does not meet that criteria.
You know what? Good for him for knowing.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? Like I think for especially as a guy, just knowing what you want is half the battle, because then you just won't settle for the what. Bro, what's the Chris Rock line? We're I think it says we're as faithful as our options, but also I think for guys in general, it's like you kind of go towards how do I word that? Like you don't want to settle for like someone who just likes you, I guess.
Oh,
like
okay.
you want to have you know, and I think for a lot of us, and maybe as we get older, we know what we like, we know what we want.
Yep.
We're more comfortable going like, nah, I like this, I want this, I want like that. But at that age, you're kind of just going, fuck, she likes me. Fuck it. You kind of just settle, right?
Take a chance.
I'll take a chance. And as you get older, you're kind of like, you have standards. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But when you're young, man, like, so good for him for having standards at that age. Because when you're young, it's hard to have standards. You're kind of just like, she likes me? Cool. Like, I guess I could learn to like her. She'll grow on me.
But I think about these guys, man, and in that dating scene, and of course, like the, you know, with the age of social media and everything, and dude, like so many women like putting themselves out there, you know, whether it's showing fucking scantily clad pictures and you know, whatever, like what's beautiful and what's not beautiful. I always try to tell my boys, man, that's just like, yo, as guys, we're super visual.
Yeah.
But there's times where you're gonna meet somebody that you think is really beautiful, and then they're gonna open their mouth and you're gonna go, ooh, yeah, no. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I can't talk to you. I can't spend time with you. I'm like, you have to. Like the looks is fine, but you have to dig deeper.
Dude, we're programmed so fucked up. And we talk about this here all the time. We're programmed so fucked up that like you have to combat your DNA constantly. Like as a guy, you're fighting your DNA of like, but she's pretty.
God,
I don't care that she stabbed me.
Like her.
Yeah, I don't care if she stabbed me in my sleep. She's so pretty.
You're like, man, she's crazy, but she's so goddamn fine. So
bro, the more unstable you are, the more attractive we're like.
No, do not put that out there. I'm fucking bleeping that out.
Do not. It fucking sucks.
No, goddammit.
Listen, we were wired fucked up. That's how I know we don't have any control, because the rational part of us goes, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But then the like fucking man brain of us goes, this can't be fun. We lose all senses, bro. Dude, but there's a couple other places we got to touch on, because
well, you said sporting event.
Yo, it worked for Travis Kelce. Fuck y'all. If it's good enough for Taylor Swift,
bro,
it's good
you
enough.
got if you have fucking, I don't know, courtside NBA final tickets.
You better
That's
be
not a
grateful.
good first date,
Yeah.
bro.
Nah, but to be honest with you, bro, I'm not wasting that on a girl. I'm taking my boy. I'm trying to talk sport.
No, but like if you meet somebody who's going like, oh my God, like this is, I fucking love, blah, blah, blah. I think it's based on like, if they can kind of talk the game, if they go like, oh, like I love this team, da da da, so and so, you can actually tell that they understand the sport and they actually follow. That could be a good date.
Yeah, because what if the girl, and it's because the list is made by women. What if the girl's a really big fan of that sports team, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna, you know what, first date, hey, how about I take you, and like you said, courtside seats to whoever, you know, but behind home plate seats to whoever, like the 50-yard tickets, whatever
it is.
There's a fucking exception to the rule in there somewhere, bro. Like,
yeah, bro.
Yeah. So the list, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, this shit is so contingent on your tax bracket, where you live, because, dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, like we were saying before, Kansas, Iowa, ecstatic with Cheesecake Factory. New York, LA, maybe not so much.
Yep.
Girl in Orlando, like, okay, Cheesecake Factory might be what part of Orlando? We talking West Side? We talking East Side? We talking Kissimmee?
We talking Bithlo?
Bithlo, like, yeah, it changes drastically. Like, Chipotle might be fine dining for some of them. I don't know. Like, dude, the audacity, if you grew up in certain parts of town and Red Lobster's not good enough for you. Now, I wouldn't pick Red Lobster as the first date.
Yeah.
But
like,
somebody would.
Like, I don't even want to go there.
No, exactly.
But that's me.
That's me. But and I also go like, dude, what was the story? Like, remember a few months back where, God, man, I wish I could remember her name. I got to look her up. But I think she's in politics, and she was saying that she wouldn't date a bus driver. There was it went viral.
Yes. And I don't remember her name.
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but she's in politics somehow. She's like a TV personality or whatever. But she was talking on there, and then the women were kind of giving her shit like, I'll date any man with an honest living and blah 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 blah. And she's like, well, I wouldn't date a man who's a bus driver. I want the guy who owns the bus company.
Correct.
Something like that, right?
It was just that.
And people were giving her so much shit, and I'm like, first off, good for her for like having standards and again knowing what she wants, but also she's doing the guy a favor, bro. If you're a bus driver, and the way that woman's life worked is you're gonna be constantly in events that are like people that probably you don't hang out with all the time, so you're gonna have to mingle with these people, you're gonna have to befriend these people, you're gonna be constantly put in situations that are probably uncomfortable for you,
right?
So she's doing that person a favor by like, I'm not gonna expose you to this all the time, and also that's probably not fun for them. And she has a lifestyle where she goes, my life requires this.
Yep.
And it had nothing to do with maybe some of it is money, but it's also your circle. It's also your personality. It's also how you move around a room. It's also like, I don't know why. I don't think that I never took that as, oh, a bus driver just wasn't good enough for her. She's probably going, there's an exception to every rule, but for the most part, like a bus driver isn't going to be able to keep up with my lifestyle. Right. Like, and that doesn't just mean money. That means my friends. That means my job. That means my public persona. That, you know, all of it.
And not for nothing, bro. Like if you are a bus driver, and if you're in a room with politicians and it's like, oh, like what do you do? Like, how are you feeling about that?
Exactly. And so it's equally the part for him. Like, I want to fit in.
A lot of times, man, like, and people in general, but I know dudes, you know, like like you said, we want to, we're tribal, man. We want to fit in. And if we feel like we don't, then that becomes a point of contention in a relationship.
Dude, and I think also as men, you know, and that's a different conversation of whether or not this is right or wrong, but like, the ego plays a certain part of that, right? Like if you're dating someone who is that sort of, I don't know, famous and that sort of, I guess, involved and like a prominent figure in their community, like it takes a certain type of guy to sort of handle that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it does fracture a relationship, right? Like we all know people, man or woman, where there's a massive disparity in either status or income or whatever that is, and there's that unbalance causes friction in a relationship. I don't care what. And so the farther apart that balance gets, the more friction there's going to be in that relationship, right? And so like, because I think innately, none of us want to feel like, we couldn't fend for ourselves.
Right.
But then also like, we want to feel, I guess, worthy of who we're with. You know, like, all that feeds into our egos, man or woman. So like, I stuff like that, I see it, you know, when she made it, she was getting shit. I'm like, nah, I get it. Like, she has a lifestyle and she wants to maintain this thing. So I go, maybe in this list, I'm going, this list really should vary by person, by region, by income level, by all this stuff, because it's not as clear cut as that. Because in certain parts,
I wish we could see, you know, who was polled. Mm-hmm. Where was that taken?
Me too.
You know, was that?
Because this seems like LA. This seems like a poll you would take in the Northeast or West Coast in a prominent city. This doesn't seem like I guess like a sample size of a nationwide. No, there's no way. There's no way, because there's places in here that I go, no, some people in certain places will be just fine with that.
Yep. But one of these chains moves in and they go, oh, that place is great.
Right. Yeah. Or even the like overall, like, you know, some of these didn't even name a place. It was like an ice cream date, and it's like, I can think of a scenario where an ice cream date is fine, right? You meet at a function, whether it's a networking event, whether it's school, whatever, right? And you go, hey, there's an ice cream place down the street from me. You want to go grab ice cream with me and like talk? I want to get to know you. Like, I feel like, again, in that scenario, like, I guess you get into the nuance.
Scenario matters.
Is that a first date? I guess you could argue not. But, you know, for some people,
like
again.
Officially.
Yeah. Don't waste my time and yours. Like, some of these I'm okay with. Like, I get some of these. Like, I go, if I'm going to take you to a restaurant and suffer through that, I'm probably not going to pick most of the restaurants on this list. The church one is interesting, oddly enough to me, because if you're someone who's very into your church,
right,
and maybe you are looking for someone
who is also
that way, but then who's also like, maybe they're either a member of, maybe not a member of your church, but of the same religion, and you're like, hey, I would love to invite you to come to mine. Maybe I go to yours next week, whatever. And then you go through that. Like, that one's interesting too, because they go, that's probably okay for a lot of people.
Yeah, bro.
If that is something that's very important to them.
That's right.
Even the gym. Dude, how many times have you been to the gym and you see other gym people?
I don't know if you go on a date in the gym.
No, but
No, bro.
Not a date, but
if you go like, let's go work out together.
Let's go work out together. But if that's the first time you're getting together, again, does that classify as a date?
Right,
again, I guess
I would think not.
I wouldn't go like, hey, I'll pick you up at 7 and we'll go to work out. You know what I mean? But I think, again, for some people, that might be super ideal. It's not my cup of tea, but I'm like, I would get why someone would. IHOP, I'm not even going to defend that shit. Denny's.
Are you going for breakfast?
Oh, that's a good point.
Right?
IHOP at night slaps a little different. Are you going after the club that we weren't supposed to go on the first date?
When everything else is closed.
At the club, I go, you want to go to IHOP after this? Now, that is a first date, but I feel like it's more acceptable than IHOP in the morning. God damn it, see?
And not for nothing, depending on where you're at, right? So, like, if you're in New York where everything's fucking open all the time, or you're in Orlando where it's not.
It's not. The only thing available is IHOP and Denny's, and it's 3 a.m. and I just met you, and you were puking in the bathroom, and I was holding your hair, and quite frankly, I want to get to know you better.
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
But you look good.
Because you just wasted all the Cuervo you just bought, but still. That $7 sundress hit the spot. Anyway, be less picky, yo. That's why some of y'all gonna be lonely forever.
I'm telling you, man. I'm really and I'm really loving. So like, all 3 of my boys are fucking teenagers, and so I'm really loving like the things that they're going through, and so we talk about shit every day.
Yeah.
And like the whole like girl situation and all of that. So I'm looking forward to see how they handle that in their generation, because I'm thinking about me at 16, but it's not. It's a different time. It's a different place. Actually, no. I was here at 16, so different time.
No, but it is a different.
It's just the world is different.
The world's right. Yeah, it's a different place in the sense of the world's different, bro.
Yeah.
The factors are different. And listen, the more things change, the more they're sort of the same, I guess, quote unquote. Like the underlying what do you call that? Like I guess instincts and all that are sort of the same, but like you said, the scenarios and the like the nuance is different now than it was for sure. So my daughter is going on her first school dance tomorrow. So by the time you guys hear this, she'll probably actively be at this dance, which means I'll actively be on a rooftop with a sniper rifle. And I'm like,
this is the last episode of the podcast.
Yeah, ever. Mostly because I'll be put away. I'll be like, this is a pleasure, buddy. But like, I was encouraging her to do this dance because I recognize the experience that this is and at this age, and I'm like, I really want you to enjoy this and take this in, and like, we kept encouraging her a lot because again, we recognize sort of like the time in her life that this is gonna be. The other part of me, bro, as a dad with a daughter, is like, man, fuck these kids. Like I'm like not. I don't want to say that I'm not doing well, but there is a part of me that's like, fuck, man, like. Here we go. Like this is the like, like as a guy, as a dad of, I guess, boys, you got to worry about 3 dicks. I got to worry about all of them. You were saying like I'm like, fuck, man, like, and I try to balance that of I want to give her the freedom, and I want her to have these experiences that she should have and enjoy the school dance with her friends and do all this. And I've done a couple things, we've done her birthday and a bunch of her friends, and there was guy friends there and girlfriends there and all that stuff. And they were fun, and I could see them all interacting and it was cool. And they're still at that age where I think they're all still having like innocent fun together, right? But, the other part of me is just like fucking like punched in the gut of like, nah, but that's my little girl.
I was going to ask you, man. So she's just before high school, 8th grade.
Yeah, she's 14.
Are kids fucking at 14?
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely at 14.
From her stories and stuff?
Oh, she hasn't told me any. But she's definitely told me stories. Like definitely her there's definitely girls that are boy crazy, right? Like she's definitely told us stories enough where we know, okay, there's girls that are boy crazy. She hasn't shown a whole lot of interest yet.
No, but I mean like people in her age group, like are they?
But I definitely, dude, think about us at 14.
No, I know us.
Yes.
I know me.
In her age group, are they?
But yes, so like now in this day and age.
So she hasn't brought that up, but she's definitely brought up the fact that they are like, they're boy crazy. Like that the girls. So I know it's a thing at that. And listen, maybe I'm naive enough to not think she is. I feel like I'm intuitive enough to pick up on stuff. Like she's definitely made comments over time where I'm like, oh, you like that guy a little more, or you at least have a small crush or whatever it is. But she is still in that weird like ew phase.
Okay.
But we're
gonna keep that going as
but
long
I
as possible.
Feel like the shift is coming, right? Like she's getting, she's 14 on.
She's like, ew, but he's really fun.
Yeah, and then there's guy friends that I've met of hers where I'm like, oh, you poor bastard, you're in the friend zone for life. Like we've all met those guys where you're like, oh, you're not a threat. Like I'm not even a threat. Like I'm like, yeah, bro, go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah.
Like
come over whenever you want.
Come over whenever you want. Like I've already seen some of those where I'm like, oh, you poor bastard, you don't even know. Like and and you go, damn, it starts that young. Like you're gonna be that at 28, buddy. You're gonna be bringing her shit, and her husband's gonna be in the background, like, thanks, guy. But like, Yeah, man. Like I'm like just thinking about this list and all that stuff. Like I was, we're thinking about our kids, and I'm like thinking about my daughter tomorrow, and I'm like, man, what's that? I'm curious. Like I want to ask her, and I don't. Like, hey, what would you look for? But she's too young, right, to give me that response. Bro. I don't know. She's absolutely too young to even have an appropriate response to that. But like, I'd be curious to see like 5 years from now, like, okay, what's
don't worry, you will.
Oh man, I'm not.
You'll see it.
I'm not looking forward to that at all, man. Listen, I always say like having a girl first was a punishment for anything wrong I'd ever done to a female in my life. So like I feel like I have to go back to like kindergarten and apologize. Like if I pulled your hair or like
dude,
stole your paper.
Let me tell you, man. There was a point in my life when I was like, oh man, like I want a girl, and I didn't have one.
Yeah.
And I'm glad for it.
Yeah, and see, man, I'm so grateful I did.
No, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And I've heard, not only from you, I've heard from other people that the relationship between a dad and his daughter versus a dad and his son is very different.
Yeah, it's different. It's not better or worse, but it's very different.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did. I'm grateful I did. I think for my personality, I mean, you know me well enough.
You have to say that.
Yeah. All fair. You know what I really fucking think. No, but like, I mean, you know me pretty well. So like, it's almost like I need that yin to that yang. I need that like that perspective and that empathy and that like to almost like.
It also helps, bro, that she's like you.
Very much, yeah. Like you've met my
so it's kind of dope.
It is cool as hell. Yeah. My daughter is a fun hang, and in some ways scares the fuck out of me because she's very much like me.
Right.
But yeah, man. So we'll see, man. Fucking A, dude. But whatever she does in her life, bro, I hope she doesn't turn out like fucking Jada Pinkett. Ungrateful bitch, bro. Yo, has anyone milked a career more off of mediocre movies than Jada Pinkett?
What career?
Yeah, exactly. Bro, Set It Off was her last good movie, and this bitch is still famous somehow.
And it wasn't even good because of her.
And it wasn't even good, bro. And she's more famous. And I'm gonna say this shit right now. She is more famous for being Will Smith's wife than being Jada Pinkett, fucking the actress. I don't fucking name one Jada Pinkett movie after Set It Off. Like no one can do that shit.
Before the one, what the hell was it?
Yeah, you got to think about it, bro.
God damn it! No, it's a movie that I like. It's one like the early like '90s like hood movies. It's not Boys in the Hood. It's the other one.
Poetic Justice.
No,
that was Janet Jackson.
No, not that one. It was the one with fucking Old Dog.
Oh,
what the fuck is the name of that movie, man? And see, that's why it doesn't matter.
See, but that's why it doesn't matter, bro. Nutty Professor and Set It Off were her only good fucking roles.
She was in that?
She was barely in Nutty Professor. No, but I'm like, bro, has anyone been more famous for less work than Jada Pinkett? And then every time she opens her mouth, I'm like, oh, fucking Will Smith is about to get his ego completely just bashed upside the head. Like, listen, I'm not saying Will Smith is an innocent guy. Will Smith, I'm sure, has done his dirt in their marriage and has done shit and is not a perfect man. Will Smith has not publicly taken the opportunity to embarrass Jada every single time you put a mic in front of him, bro. This lady...
Dude, and not for nothing, man. I just read his book, semi-recently. And there was really nothing derogatory about her in that book. He doesn't go into the entanglement. The only sort of like outside relationship that he even talks about is the one that she has with Tupac, but he uses it on himself where he goes, yo, I had the opportunity to know this guy, and because I knew that Jada and him were really good friends, I had to have like I felt that I had to have like the machismo, and so I stopped myself from talking to him or anything because I felt like I had to have the bravado of just like, that's my girl. And so, but that's the only thing. He doesn't like downplay her. He doesn't talk about her in a negative light. Actually, everything in his book, to my recollection, was almost like reflections of himself and things that he felt there were shortcomings of himself.
Dude, meanwhile, she calls Tupac her soulmate in her book. She comes out and says that they've been separated for 7 years.
Yeah, since like 2016 or something.
So the entanglement wasn't a real entanglement because they weren't together. The slap, she goes, well, the fact that he called me his wife, he hadn't called me that in a very long time, so I was shocked. Like, just shit like that. Like, she's just talking, I don't know, kind of throwing him under the bus on a lot of shit. You know, coming out and saying that Tupac was your soulmate. Again, you want to you want to have a tell-all book or whatever and talk about your life, and you want to go, quote-unquote, your truth. Like, cute. Good for you.
Menace to society.
That's what she is. Fucking fucking ironically enough, that's
perfect fucking title.
Perfect fucking title. This is a menace to society.
To Will Smith.
Cause goddamn, bro, every time she talks, I'm like, bro, this guy's self-esteem has got to be like, it's like I don't know, man. There's just some things, bro, that I feel like if you have respect for me as a human being publicly, you wouldn't come on and say. And listen, I'm going to let you slip with one or two. When they're just like a fucking slew. And listen, kudos to Will because he still has her back and he still respects her. And I think this is just in his nature to take the high road or whatever. Like you said, he didn't talk bad about her in his book. Meanwhile, in her book, she sort of goes off on all this shit about how she's suicidal, about how... you know, Tupac was her soulmate, about, you know, her struggle with the alopecia thing, which I get, like, just, but there's just something so disingenuous about when she talks. Maybe it's her talk show and how I feel like she's sort of looking for clickbait all the time. Maybe it's because she's already annoyed me with everything with the entanglement and all that stuff, but I find it hard to empathize with her. And in fact, I feel the opposite. I almost find myself feeling bad for Will, but then I go, oh, he's the rest of us. And I know we've said that about him before, but you're just like, bro, like, I don't know, man. She's just...
But dude, not for nothing, man. So if she claims that, oh, we haven't been together since 2016, right?
Yeah.
And if you have decided to be what they refer to as like life partners.
Yeah.
Right?
Which I respect. I get it.
It's fine.
Cool.
Whatever you want to do. I don't give a fuck. But from a relationship standpoint, you don't need to show up into all events together.
No, I guess it depends on what the I guess
right. And if you and if you do, then it has to be understood that like we're just kind of doing this for X reasons. You don't need Will doesn't need to take offense to Chris Rock making a joke about her. Or anything, you know, he doesn't need to take offense to another guy looking at her or whatever.
Do you think now that's him trying to win her back? Like, now that I think about it and they weren't together and he does that, do you go, oh, maybe she left me or maybe we're in this situation because I'm not that guy? Like, we read in his book where he's not that guy. You know, he obviously had issues with his parents and domestic violence and like.
But I think that's
triggering for him.
I think it's a trigger from when he was a kid that. Watching his mom get beat up or get abused by his father and then not being able to protect her. I think that
I can understand.
I think that has had sort of like a lifelong, according to him, it seems like it's had like a lifelong effect. And he goes into that in the book, but the book came out before the slap.
Yeah.
So it's almost like reading the book after the slap. It goes like, oh shit, like he's been dealing with this shit for a really long time.
Was the slap to sell books?
Not
for
nothing, man. I
bought the book.
I'm interested, bro. I wanna read Jada's book.
It's called Worthy, which is fucking ironic to me too. But dude, I'm gonna add another layer.
Unless you're August Alsina.
So dead. Yo, which. You know what? Good for her for staying in her lane because he's equally as famous as she should be. Bro, fucking.
I seen August Alsina one time. When he opened for Usher.
Yeah, exactly.
True story, by the way.
I fucking believe you, bro. This. Dude, she fucking. There's another layer to the Chris Rock thing, which I'm like, okay, like. So Chris Rock supposedly had heard rumors that they were split and asked her out.
Oh, yeah.
And she turned him down. So, what are you talking about? Because, again, they're trying to play that they're still together or whatever at this point. And she's like, no. And so she's like, so in her book, she talks about how Chris Rock came on to her and then was apologetic when she said, no, I'm very much still with Will or whatever. And he was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. But now I go, okay, can you imagine her telling Will, yo, Chris Rock
by the way,
me out.
Chris Rock asked me out.
Like, how crazy is that?
And then he does that.
And then he does that. So I'm like,
fuck,
bitch,
man.
You could have come out this whole time and just said, yo, Chris Rock asked me out. You know, like, Will was feeling some type of way about that.
Right.
The whole shit happened.
He didn't know we were together.
Exactly, bro. Like, there's so much shit now where I go, you let this man take the embarrassment of the last... Listen... And he's his own individual. He made that decision to go up there and smack her.
I think that would be her defense.
Yes. I absolutely think, obviously, he's in control. He made his own decision. He did all that shit. But the speculation about the, like, why and blah, 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 you know, like, it's like, oh, okay, when you start adding all these things in, it's like, yo, we're all only human, bro. Like, we've all, like...
Yes.
We've all been in scenarios like that where you may have not made the best decision. It just for us, there weren't cameras pointing at us, and we're not at the Oscars. Like, so you know, you're I don't know, you put this man, is very much a man, in a scenario like that, and I think you can't expect him to not respond the way that he did, because I think a lot of us would have. Except we just don't have the cameras, and we don't have that stage, and we don't have that, like. But for you and I, bro, if somebody who asked out your girl, your wife, your whatever was around, you know, and made something like you would, like, you were at a party at somebody, you'd be like, yo, what the fuck is your deal? Like, it would play out. You may not slap him. That's extra ballsy, unless you're just like carrying around your nuts in a wheelbarrow, because slapping a grown ass man is kind of wild, but. There would definitely be
you're not slapping and walking away. It's going to be a fight.
It's going to be a fight. So the interaction is going to play out a little bit differently, but the thing that got you there is still the same. You know what I mean? And there's going to be an interaction nonetheless. Like,
and dude, not for nothing, man. There is, as much as we as a society, like, you know, try to say that, you know, everything's sort of the same across the board. It really, like, depending on where you grew up, the culture that you grew up in, that shit plays a big part in stuff like that, right? Like something that maybe in this scenario that Will thought was uber disrespectful, or, you know, to his wife, and then he tried to defend her. You know, maybe somebody in a different culture would go like so what? Yeah,
no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, in a different culture, somebody would be like, meh. In a Latino household, it's Tuesday.
I told her that yesterday.
She gotta ask her twice.
He might look at you and be like, see, I told you.
Oh, man. Jokes, people. These are jokes. Wink at the
wink. Dude, man, you watched some sports this weekend, man. I gotta talk to you about this fucking this NCAA.
Okay,
shit, if you've seen this, so
yeah,
NCAA is going after Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines program.
Okay,
for sign stealing.
Oh. So meaning they're stealing the signs that they're throwing to the quarterback or to the team okay, so they know what play's coming.
They're calling him right. They know what play's coming. So dude, and this is not like, I don't know. I was like, you know, in baseball, if you're stealing signs, it's a little bit different. If you know a curveball's coming, it's probably a little bit more telling.
It's an advantage, but you still got to put the bat to the ball, man.
Right, you still got to hit it. And in this case, bro, there's been so much. So, like, I know in the NFL, there's mics in the helmets of the quarterback. Right, so they can call in a play to the quarterback. He can relay it in the huddle, and then that's it.
Yep.
In college, I don't know if they have that, or if that's illegal.
That's why they hold up the cards.
Right. So some places hold up the cards. So if you hold up the fucking cards, and sometimes like the Oregon, not under this coach. I think
that's what they would have, some wild ass, like,
crazy shit. It would fucking be like a picture of fucking Mike Tyson and a woman next to him,
and then there'd be a random duck.
And you're like, that's a fucking sweep left.
they show
that's a left hook.
That's a left, and then they show with a black eye. You're like, oh, halfback dive up the middle.
But dude, if you are able to figure out what those signs mean, because whether you've recorded it, and
you
again,
should be allowed to, bro.
Yeah, fuck that, bro.
Do a better job of fucking hiding the sign,
and
bro.
dude, not for nothing, bro. Like in the day and age now with cell phones, everybody has a camera at every time.
Yeah, and they're watching tape on every game, and they're looking
dude.
at why it's gamesmanship to me too, dude. Like, why wouldn't you expect a team to listen, man? And as someone who played even baseball, and you're throwing signs, and you're like, and now coaching my son, and we have signs that we have, right? And we'll throw down 4, and the kids know which one is the real one, right? We're like, we'll throw like 4 or 5.
But if someone figures it out,
good for fucking you, bro.
Yep.
That, it's on me to change it.
Yep, change the sign.
Like, change the sign. Like, I feel like that's part of the game. Otherwise, why are you hiding it? You know what I mean? Like, the whole point is the gamesmanship of. That's why. You ever heard an NFL play, bro? You ever heard like quarterbacks calling an NFL play?
Oh yeah,
it's the stupidest thing in the world. It doesn't sound like English, and you're like, oh, okay, you're doing this because you're trying to disguise a play because the other team is gonna know what you're doing.
Right.
It's part of the game. It's gamesmanship.
And the other piece of this is if Michigan is, if Michigan is UCF.
Nobody gives a fuck.
No one cares, bro.
Isn't this the second time he's been investigated?
Yeah, and recently. And so I'm just going why are you going after the guy who is uber successful in the business?
Like, do you think those sign stealing is the difference between you beating Michigan right now?
Well, he is Michigan.
No. But I mean, if you're his opponent, had he not stolen,
that, right? We wouldn't have got blown out by 54.
By 54, it would have been 53. Because
and so it just feels like the NCAA kind of like with the even with the college athletes, right? Over the years of not letting them get paid, not letting them get paid off their likeness, right? It just feels like even them getting paid off their likeness, is it coming down the pipe where they go well, we're gonna sell jerseys of Caleb Williams, we're gonna sell number 13 jerseys, and they're gonna buy them because of you. But it's our jersey, and your name's not on the back.
And that's what colleges do.
So we'll take the credit for that. We'll take the proceeds of that.
I had UCF jerseys with the number of a player on there and didn't have the name on the back. At the time that I bought it, I knew whose number it was.
Yep. And that's the reason why you bought it.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't wear it now, but that's the reason why I bought it then.
It's got to come to a point, man, where I feel like the NCAA is just like a bunch of really old white guys trying to fucking make rules so that they can make more money.
It's boxing. It feels like too many hands in the pot.
Good. Yep.
And like too many hands in the pot. Like you said, too many old white guys trying to make money off of it. And then there isn't a rationale behind the rules because we've overcorrected with nil, I would say. Like, we're going to meet somewhere in the middle with this whole nil thing. Like, we've overcorrected to the point where kids don't want to leave college now.
Oh my God, yeah.
And so you're going to get this, like, the whole issue with, hey, no one stays in college basketball, so it sucks. And now you're going to get kids who are going to stay, and now they're going to go do 4 years.
Fifth year.
Yeah, but then the NBA and the NFL are going to complain, going, well, fuck, now we got to wait 5 years to get a kid, to get Shedeur, Sanders out because he's staying at Colorado because he can make more money at Colorado as a junior and senior than he can in his first rookie deal in the NFL because we changed the NFL contracts to not give you as much money. And so now we're going to change those. So then the kids are going to,
Dude, isn't he doing about $5 million a year right now?
Yeah, in college.
Yeah.
Which, good for him. Like,
it's great.
Absolutely agree that you should make money off your name, your image, your likeness, whatever. I'm glad that college football gave them this. It just, we do this in every phase in life. Like, we overcorrect. And so it's like we went from one extreme to the next. And so we created, like, the unintended consequence now is like, oh, no, now I don't want to leave college. Why would I leave college? I'm making money, doing this. So
you have to change the contracts back to make it lucrative enough for them to want to leave.
And then the NFL now goes, dude, this is going to have because now the NFL or the NBA or whatever's going to go, no, we have to up the rookie deals again. We got to offer more money because we got to incentivize these kids to come out. Like, it's just this cycle, bro, of never ending. like, and I don't know what the balance is, but like, yeah, it's just we went from one extreme to the other. So I don't know. And does that impact why you, I guess, attack Harbaugh? Like, because maybe you're trying, because it's so competitive now, and the transfer portal is so, like competitive because you can leave every year. Are you trying to tarnish his name?
What's I'm saying?
So the kids don't go there?
Or are you going, because maybe you feel like it's unfair, which, by the way, man, this year in college football is probably the most exciting year that I can remember in recent history.
The most parity in a long time. I mean, I guess mine is Georgia, which I keep forgetting that they're back-to-back champs.
Correct.
I didn't even remember they won last year.
SEC is not the fucking pre-NFL anymore, man. Like, the
ACC can make that the Big 12, the Big 10.
What's
Pac.
the Pac?
Yeah.
Which they're about to dismantle that whole freaking division. But it's like there's so many teams that are good and competitive. I wish this year was the year that they were gonna do the fucking 12
oh my
teams.
God, the playoff! How good would that be?
That would be amazing.
Man? Which I'm like, it's funny, man. I don't want to say that I'm not a fan because whatever, it'll be entertaining, and I'll still watch the games. I don't know that it changes the result, other than maybe every 5 to 8 years we'll get one.
You'll get the Cinderella.
Yeah, you'll get the Cinderella, right? Like the basketball tournament, right? Like every once in a while you get a Creighton that ends up in the Final Four.
Or Gonzaga.
Yeah, and then they get their breaks beat off them by Kentucky. Like it's just you get that, and then it's fun to watch along the way.
Yep.
But you don't want to watch them in a national title game against Alabama and then get beat by 47. Like it's not fun. So. I hope that the college football tournament, I do think because of the NIL, because of the transfer portal, because I do think now that maybe the timing is actually perfect because those teams 1 through 12, 1 through 8, whatever it is, will be more competitive because you will get this. The talent is spread out now. I think because because you can make your you can make your money off your likeness. I think a kid from West Virginia is more apt to stay at West Virginia because he can make money off his likeness instead of going like, I have to go to Alabama because I have to play for Nick Saban, because I have to try to be a first round NFL pick, because where now you go like, I can get on the internet, I'm a superstar, I can get, I can go to Colorado, whatever, like, and make money. So I do think these kids now stay more spread out, and you're not stuck at a school. You can go, oh, this isn't a good situation for me. Let me go to this next school. Let me go to this next school. So maybe that makes the tournament actually really interesting because the talent is sort of spread out across these schools. Like, I don't know. It'll be fascinating to see, man. But like, dude, what do you think ultimately happens, Jim? What's the... I don't know. What do you do,
dude? I think.
What do you find?
I think nothing happens.
Okay.
And there's a part of me that goes like, are you just trying to piss the guy off? So he just goes, all right, I'll go back to the NFL.
Yeah, like, are you trying to push him out of?
Right. Are you saying that because not for nothing, bro? Like, yes, Georgia is back-to-back champions. Michigan's probably the best team in the country right now.
Yeah, and I would argue that he's underachieved, quote unquote, by what his expectation is, which is a national title.
Right. Because he hasn't won one yet.
Because he hasn't won one yet, right? And so you go, it's not even like, I get if they're doing this to Kirby Smart, it's Kirby Smart, right? At Georgia.
Yep.
I get if you're doing this to Nick Saban, but you're doing this to the guy who hasn't won a national title yet.
Right.
This is weird. Yeah, I don't know, man.
He just brought the program back to prominence.
Yes. And in that respect, I almost feel like he hasn't done it until they win a national title.
Correct. He hasn't finished the job.
He's made them they're not a laughingstock. Okay, they're not a walk-through opponent, but you haven't finished the job. I'm not putting them on a national stage yet as far as like, oh, we respect. Because I don't think anybody's looking at Michigan right now going, oh, wow, Michigan. They should, but I think to the casual fan, Michigan isn't really back yet, quote unquote. Like maybe the college football fans are, right? Like, but
dude, they look really good.
Yeah, no, but I think anybody right now, like a casual, will look at Georgia and go back to back. Obviously they know Alabama, they know Clemson for the last few years. They know Colorado now.
But what is it? Top 4 is like, and not in this order. Georgia, Michigan.
Yep.
Florida State, Ohio State. Are those the
that
top?
Sounds right.
Are those top 4?
Yeah, I think that's top 4.
I believe so.
And then Bama.
No, Bama's
is
like
in the top 10 now,
maybe top 10.
Yeah, Texas dropped, I think, to 6 or 5 or 6.
Yep.
So yeah,
Oklahoma's in the mix there.
Yep. Yeah.
And Washington.
Yeah, which they have. Oregon, I think. Well, maybe they dropped out of the bottom. Yeah, dropped out.
They're still in the top 10. I think they're number 8. Okay. They're number 8.
Yeah.
So they play Utah this weekend at Utah. That's going to be good.
That will be good, actually. That should be really good. Oh, man. Do you see what they're doing with these self-checkout machines?
On what?
So you know how you go to a store and there's a self-checkout, like you go to Walmart or the grocery store and you can check yourself out. They're adding the ability to add a tip to the self-checkout now. Like it's going to pop up. Like, you go anywhere now, any fast food restaurant and whatever. It'll be like, oh, tip, you want to leave a percent?
Yeah. So hold on. So you're saying like at like a grocery store?
Yeah.
Tip for what?
Some of them, and you're probably more familiar with it. They're just rolling this out to like a certain POS system because certain businesses have asked for it. So if you're on a certain version of this, you're gonna get it. But this could be anything from a pharmacy to a grocery store to national.
Also, now all of these are, I guess, service industry positions.
That's what they're saying. Well, no, that's just what the machine is. So they're like, oh no, you can tip our staff for good service. I think what this is in response to is that people are trying to figure out a way to incentivize employees and pay them more, and so then you're adding this to offer we can pull tips.
You don't have to raise prices.
So if you work at Walmart, hey, the customers can leave you additional tips. So by the way, you're in a shared, and you can just say, hey, shared tips.
It's in a pool.
And it's a benefit, quote unquote, to your employees. So I get it from an employer standpoint. It's just another. Listen, you may not get a lot of participation, but if you get 1 or 2%, people are getting a little bit more money than they would have gotten anyway.
Fuck, man. Like, I don't think if I'm going to a self-checkout, the answer is always 0.
Bro, I've been waiting for a 1099 from every place that has self-checkout all year. I feel like they should be giving. Me a I claim that shit on my tax. I've been doing my own labor, and now I have to tip you for doing my own labor. Oh, yeah, that shit is wild, bro.
I wonder if they're also doing that on the POSs that are manned by humans.
Yo, yeah, can you imagine if you work a register? Do you get to keep that?
They go. You want to leave a tip and they fucking no.
Bro, how do you? No, man. And I've struggled with this lately because I'd like to consider myself a generous tipper for good service, right? Like if I go to a good restaurant and somebody, whatever they go off, I try to take care of them. And I do it in different things, but I am getting to this point now where everywhere you go, you're like, all right, why am I like I don't feel like you go to Chipotle and they're asking for a tip, or you go to like
I want to say even
coffee, like Starbucks asks for a tip, and
Panera
Bread asks for a tip.
Where I'm like no, I order at the fucking counter, I go and I wait, and then I go grab my food.
Yeah, I didn't get
served.
Job, yeah, I didn't get served. And like even pizza places, I seen like you go pick it up and they ask for a tip. And
yes, Papa John's.
Yeah, like why am I tipping? And I get some of this is the system is programmed the way it is, and so they don't know whether it's delivery or whatever, and so the option just comes up. But should you feel obligated to then do it, right? You can turn it off, like whether it's carry out or delivery or whatever. You should have the ability to turn it off. But also, like now you see how people look at you if you like leave the 0 or like like on a cup of coffee. Like I do it, but I'm reluctantly doing it on a cup of coffee. I'm like,
dude, I never, and I don't even feel bad.
No,
you could look at me however
I feel like
the fuck
an asshole.
Nah, bro.
But I'm starting to get annoyed because I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, there's an old video, and I wish I could fucking find it. I'm sure it's out there, where it's just like this old like New York Italian dude talking about Starbucks and like a $5 cup of coffee, and he goes in. It's a great fucking rant. And I'm going, when I go to a Starbucks, no, man, there's no tip. How much is the fucking coffee? Like, I'm not asking for nothing special. Like, I'm ordering something off of the menu. Make the shit and give it to me.
Yeah.
If you want more money for it, then up the price and I can make the decision whether I want to pay it or not. But I don't want to have to fucking tip you for making a cup of coffee, bro.
Yeah, when that was your job in the first place, because the cup of coffee wasn't outside of your duties and you're offering me an extra service. Yeah, like I struggle with it, man. But I think for me, too, is if it's a place that I frequent all the time, I feel obligated. Because now I'm like,
I
you
don't.
see me all the time.
Yeah, nah. They be like, a man comes the guy that doesn't tip.
This is but this is what happens when you're me and I fucking talk too much and everybody's like, I befriend everybody and then they know me and now suddenly I walk in. I just start wearing a fucking hat and just going in quietly at places because like I feel obligated because I'm like, oh fuck, I'm here all the time.
Man.
They know me.
Stop being so damn open. Be a little bit more stoic.
Yeah, you right, man. You right. You right.
Be like, there comes the grumpy guy.
Yeah,
that's what they say about me. There comes the grumpy guy. That guy doesn't talk. He always looks mad.
It's a curse, bro. Don't do it. It's fucking terrible. It's terrible.
Dude, what's up with Dwight Howard?
Yo, have you seen this story?
No, I have not. I see it's on a list of things to talk about.
Oh my God, bro.
But I love Dwight Howard. I love what he's been doing over in Korea. He's in the basketball league in Korea. He's made some posts.
Taiwan.
Oh, sorry.
Taiwan. He going off.
That's not even a real country.
Put some respect on Taiwan.
According to China, that's not even a real country.
Which we may be going to war with. But you heard about this shit?
No, man. I haven't read the news in a
I don't even want to get too much, but we fucking with the Philippines right now, or they're fucking with the Philippines, and Biden came out.
That's us.
I'm not.
That's our people.
That's our people. Yeah, and Biden came out saying like, "Yo, we're gonna be forced to intervene." Well, like we may have to get in all this shit.
Dude, Philippines is. I mean, it's kind of close, but kind of far from China.
Yeah, like, I think Biden thought they were fucking.
And it's really fucking small. Like, what does China want with that?
I don't know, but like they had some like
positioning
some boats or whatever intercept their warships or whatever. I think today or yesterday, and so now it's like tensions are getting a little there. So Biden's like, well, I think Biden thought he was talking about Hawaii. I don't know. That motherfucker didn't really know. Anyway, Dwight Howard plays for one of these.
Be like, wait a minute, wait a minute. It wasn't Hawaii. Philippines is not one of the Hawaiian islands.
Dwight Howard plays for the artist formerly known as Taiwan.
Why didn't you guys tell me?
What? I can't.
Sorry, man. Taiwan and Dwight Howard.
Okay, so Dwight Howard, he plays in Taiwan currently, but he does live in Atlanta. And you know what they say about black men in Atlanta? And there's been some rumors
a lot of them
swirling, amongst other things, but there's been some rumors swirling about Dwight Howard that may or may not have just been confirmed. So Dwight Howard has been accused of sexual assault this week, which he absolutely denies and has said that the sexual activity was consensual. He doesn't deny that it happened, but he says it was consensual.
Okay.
And he says the guy is lying. So, listen, I'm not clowning Dwight Howard.
Listen, Will Smith said, remember he said that time when he was like, only a man knows what a man needs. In front of Jada.
I mean, ain't nobody been pleasuring us like us for a long time.
While he got a massage.
Yo, but fucking the rumors of Dwight Howard for years have been, and they always say like every dude in Atlanta is a down low, bro, and like fucking, and he has a house there for no reason. He ain't playing Atlanta in ages, and they're like, I think he's originally from there.
He's from that area.
From that area. But there has been rumors about Dwight Howard for years saying that he was gay or that he bisexual.
Oh, I had no idea.
Years, bro. And people have been saying this shit, and then for this to come out, and he's like, nah, bro. Like he wanted it.
He wanted this.
And he's denied it for like ever, and now it took a sexual assault accusation. Like, nope. He wanted a He wanted these back shots.
He wanted this Wembanyama.
That's the name of the episode. Wembanyama's the name. In the spirit of his debut today. And that shit, oh God. Oh, I'm fucking crying. He wanted this Wembanyama might be the greatest line in the history of this pod. Oh, fuck, bro. Dude.
Yo.
Oh my
Shout
God.
out to Dwight Howard.
Shout out to Dwight, yo. Do your thing,
hopefully,
bro. Yeah, be out of the closet, bro. Fuck it. Stop hiding that shit, man.
Hopefully you're not out there raping dudes.
Yeah. Yo, but not for nothing, dude. I got a whole new respect. If you a gay dude and you letting Dwight Howard get on it, you a man, bro. God damn.
Imagine he likes like 5 foot dudes.
I like
him tiny.
I like him small.
I like him small. Give me some jockeys in it. That's fucking crazy, bro. He like 7 foot. He's ginormous, bro. Oh man.
Yo, how we doing on time?
Bro, we are an hour, 4 minutes into this.
You want to get anything else, man? You want to close this shit off, bro?
I think we could close it out with Wembanyama. I don't have anything else. Let me see.
On that, tell them where they can find us.
Yo, if you guys aren't already following us at the Carbon Football Podcast on IG, the Carbon Football Podcast on YouTube, on X is at the Carbon FP Pod, TikTok, the Carbon Football Podcast, and then all your favorite audio platforms: Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, Amazon Audible, Geo7, Ghana, Spotify. And then don't forget to leave a review, man. Go on there, leave a review, share with your friends. I saw some comments this week from people I didn't know, so that was cool on the YouTube awesome. And all that. I love that. Leave the comments, man. Shout out. We read them all. We go through it all. We'll exchange texts on them all. So yeah, do y'all thing, man. We're definitely paying attention all the time.
That's awesome. And yo, before I leave, this week my Bears finally fucking won a game. They won a home game that they haven't won in over a freaking year, but the piece that I took from it, it was a backup quarterback, Tyson Bagent, out of a small D2 school. In the interview, he said something that resonated with me, and he said they asked him something about like, hey, were you nervous and this, and he was like, yeah, there's always some nerves, and he goes, but you know, I've been doing this, I feel like my whole life. You know, I got a starting job I've been starting quarterback since the sophomore year in high school all the way through the end of college. And he goes, and I quote, "Repetition is the mother of all learners." And I was like, that's a fucking gem. Ooh, that you tell, like that for those of us with kids especially, man, it's like repetition is the mother of all learners. That's so fucking true in any aspect, no matter what the fuck you do for your life. So on that, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. We will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.